Hi, and welcome to More Human, More Resources, the HR podcast for entrepreneurs. I'm Vicki Brown, your host and CEO of Vidamaneo Enterprises. As a serial entrepreneur, I understand that having the right expert help has been critical to my success. That's why I'm dedicated to telling you, in plain language, what's going on in the world of HR that might impact your business and what you need to do about it, with real actionable tips to help you master that list of must-dos and grow your leadership muscle. First things first, the information contained in this podcast is provided for general purposes only and is not to be considered legal advice. Your decision to adopt or not adopt any practice or procedure mentioned in this podcast is solely yours, and we bear no responsibility for the outcome. We urge you to always consult legal counsel and other appropriate licensed professionals. And with that, let's get into the show. You're listening to Season 5, Episode 15. So, want to know one of the biggest traps for new managers? It's trying to be friends with everyone on your team. Now, I get it. Of course you want to be liked. But here's the thing. Your team doesn't actually need another buddy. They need a leader. When you focus too much on being the cool boss, you'll find yourself avoiding tough conversations. Those small issues you let slide, they don't disappear. They grow until they become big problems, impacting everyone. And by then, fixing them is much harder and much more disruptive. Actually, I see this pattern play out all the time with new managers who prioritize being liked over being effective. Here's what actually happens. You notice a team member consistently showing up 5 minutes late to meetings. It seems minor, so you ignore it because you don't want to seem uptight or damage your friendly rapport. Other team members notice both the tardiness and your silence. The behavior continues, maybe even worsens to 10 or 15 minutes late. Now, it's disrupting everyone's schedule and sending a message that punctuality doesn't matter. Or maybe someone's work quality isn't quite meeting standards. Instead of addressing it early with specific feedback, you say nothing because you don't want to hurt their feelings or make them dislike you. The quality issues continue. Deadlines get missed, and suddenly the entire project is behind schedule. Now, what started as a simple coaching opportunity has snowballed into a major performance problem that affects clients, other team members, and potentially even your bottom line. The most insidious part? By avoiding these conversations early, you're actually creating a much more difficult situation for everyone involved. The team member hasn't received the feedback they need to improve. Their behavior has become a habit that's harder to break. And when you finally do address it, because eventually you do have to, it's no longer a quick course correction. It's a formal performance issue that feels much more serious and threatening. And this avoidance doesn't just impact the individual. It erodes team culture because other members wonder why certain behaviors are tolerated. It creates inconsistency in your leadership, and that makes everyone feel less secure. And ultimately, it undermines respect for you as a leader because your team can see that you're prioritizing temporary comfort over long-term success. Remember, addressing issues promptly, that's not mean. It's respectful. It shows that you value the person enough to help them course correct before small issues become career-limiting problems. That's what a real leader does. They have the courage to have uncomfortable conversations because they care about their team's growth and success. So ask yourself, would you rather have a manager who's fun to grab lunch with but never helps you improve, or someone who genuinely supports your growth, even when that means pointing out where you could do better? Most employees want the second option. They want to develop their skills and advance their careers. Now, this doesn't mean you need to be cold or distant. There's a world of difference between being an authoritarian boss who rules through fear and being an authoritative leader who guides through respect. Communicate clearly, set consistent expectations, and follow through on what you say. That's when your team learns to trust you. And it actually makes you more approachable, not less. Your team members will feel comfortable coming to you with problems because they know you'll respond honestly, not just tell them what they want to hear. Now, here's another problem with the friendship approach. It can create the appearance of favoritism. Even if you're not intentionally showing bias, when you become closer to some team members, it can make others feel left out, and that damages team dynamics. It erodes trust, and it can create serious headaches all around. Your job isn't to build a social circle. It's to build a fair, inclusive workplace where everyone has equal opportunities to succeed. And that means being mindful of how you interact with your team members and ensuring that you're not inadvertently playing favorites. So, how do you balance being approachable while maintaining your authority? Well, start by understanding that empathy and leadership go hand in hand. You can be supportive and warm while still upholding performance standards and professional boundaries. You see, true empathy means listening to your team members and understanding their challenges. It doesn't mean excusing missed deadlines or poor work quality because you're afraid to rock the boat. Actually, real empathy often requires having those difficult conversations because you genuinely care about their success. When a team member faces a personal crisis and you respond with flexibility and understanding, that's empathy. When you consistently avoid addressing performance issues because you want them to like you, that's conflict avoidance, and it helps absolutely no one in the long run. The most respected leaders are both firm and fair. They set clear expectations, provide necessary support, and they hold people accountable. They're not afraid to make tough decisions, but they explain their reasoning and listen to input from the team. These are the leaders that create environments where people feel free to take risks and grow, not because the leader is their friend, but because the leader has their back and wants them to succeed. So if you're transitioning from peer to leader, remember this. Your team needs someone who can guide them, challenge them, and help them reach their potential. Be approachable and empathetic, but also be the leader they need. Go ahead, set clear expectations, give honest feedback, and make decisions based on what's best for the team, not what will make you most popular. Strike this balance and you'll build something much more valuable than friendship. You'll build trust. And trust is the foundation of a high-performing team. So resist the urge to be everyone's friend. Focus instead on being the leader your team deserves. If you found this information helpful, please leave a review and tell a friend. Thanks for spending the time. Until next week, same time, same place.